Who needs to hear this, but I know that I need to hear it myself, and I needed this a while back, like years ago, but I'm gonna say it just in case you come across this video and for some reason you were either looking for something like this and I popped up, or I don't know, it just popped up and whatever. I don't think so. My videos don't really rank high on the YouTube algorithm, and I don't want them to. I just want to put myself out there and put my thoughts out there because I felt like it. Here it is. You don't need any more information. You really do not. And especially, I'm going to talk about the self improvement area because that's where I feel like I have gotten to a point where everything is exhausting. And, I'm 33 years old. I went to therapy for 3 years. I learned so many things, so many tools that to this day help me out a lot to keep my mental health in check and prevent me from going back to therapy because I have the tools I need. I have read countless books on, psychology, philosophy, anything under the realm of self-help, neuroscience, and, goal setting, and I don't know, anything you could possibly think of that is trending right now or has been trending for the last 10 years. I have read it. And at this point in my life, I think that whenever I either read these books or I watch the video, I notice that what I'm looking for is the next answer that I'm hoping to find to make my life better. And the thing is, it is nice and it is okay to work on yourself. We are a constant work in progress. But this over optimization. Well, whatever. English is not my first language. Just have patience with me, please. But, constantly optimizing yourself all the time to the point where you become an Excel spreadsheet, it's not okay. You don't need any more information. If you have been consuming this kind of content for over 5 years, and I have been doing it for like 10 or even 15 years, you don't need any more of that. I mean, if you're curious, and that's the approach I want to have from now on, if you're curious, that's fine. But when you notice that creators go down a rabbit hole where you are like, okay, I can notice you're running out of content and you're trying to nitpick at the tiniest little things, that's when it becomes a problem. And I'm not saying the content is problematic itself. It is always nice to have videos that are kind of like food for thought. But there comes times in life where ruminating so much is not good. Because you know what rumination ends up causing? Inaction. And if you want things in your life to be different, which is the reason why you want to optimize yourself, why you want to be a better version of yourself every day, you have to do things. You have to do something different because you cannot get different results doing the same things that you have been doing. And watching videos and reading books and content about self-development gives you this false sensation, this false feeling of I am making progress. But when that doesn't translate into your daily life and you don't start like seeing the actual changes and how that advice changed your life, then it means you're not really doing anything. And that happens in many other areas of life, I am aware, but I'm talking about self-development, psychology here. And I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent with no buy and under consumption content that right now I am speaking, in March 2025. It is very trendy because the world is getting more expensive and there are crises going on, and people are trying to be mindful of where their money is going. I started noticing that the channels that I used to love last year right now are going down the rabbit hole. And I have watched a creator that I used to love, and it's not that I don't love her anymore. I just think that it's getting way too extreme and way too analytical, and like she's constantly ruminating on every single tiny little detail about her life. She made a video that I didn't watch because I was like, okay, this is too much for me. A video went something like the the things or the justifications that I made for purchasing things in 2024, and you're basically criticizing the decisions you made last year. I don't think that's a healthy approach, you know. And I also, at this point in my life, I don't think it's healthy to never want to buy anything, because I think that we are human beings, and unless you live in the middle of the forest, there is no, it is very hard to, you know, you know, kind of like step out of the matrix. We live in the matrix, sadly. You know, this is a capitalist world. It's not the best. It is not, but it is what we have, and we can try to, you know, be mindful, but at the same time wanting to buy a scrunchie because it's cute, you know, and if it's not a compulsive kind of purchase in the sense of I am buying a new scrunchie every day. It's not, you know, you don't need another scrunchie. Probably with only one it will do, but if you want another one, then what's the harm, you know? Like, and I know a lot of people won't agree, but I think that we have gotten so over analytical about absolutely everything, with this phrase that, you know, everything personal is also political, to the point that I feel like my generation and the younger generation as well are so unhappy because they see the world as this negative place where nothing good happens and everything is a disaster. And maybe it is me being 30 and having lived through you know, other dark times in my country. I'm from Argentina, by the way. And I'm used to understanding that the world, you know, and countries work in cycles, and, you know, maybe this is for the rest of the world, you know, for Europe and the US in particular, a very bad time, but it will come a time where it's, you know, better for you guys and it's bad for us Latin Americans. Like, it happens all the time. So that gives me not only hope, but the reassurance that not everything's bad. But then I'm going on a tangent here where we're talking about self-development. But yeah, you don't need any more information. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna save the channels that talk about all these topics that I'm kind of interested into on a tab, but I'm gonna unsubscribe, and I'm gonna start watching videos that are, you know, fun. I want to have fun. You know, I have the knowledge that I need, and if I'm ever going to get a new idea, or if I ever feel like I need to change things up, I can visit those channels and browse and be like, okay, let's see, you know, tickle my brain, go tickle my brain. And so yeah, I'll just do that, because I don't think I need any more information. You know, I have been for, you know, all of 2024 reading information, and I never really made any big changes. And I wrote on my newsletter, it's in Spanish, so I'm not gonna link it, but I wrote on my newsletter last year. I noticed, you know, I think it was titled like, I noticed I am the same person I was last year. And I was like, I didn't change at all. And there's nothing bad in not changing, but I knew that I wanted to change things, and I didn't. And this is the reason why, always looking for more information, always looking for more things. So this is my message to you. You don't need any more information, probably, unless you're starting anew on something that you have no experience on. Like, if I want to start knitting, and I want to know the basic, you know, the most basic of things. Okay, it is okay to do research for a couple months, 1-2 months, and then you have to start to knit, because otherwise you're not going to actually learn. You learn from your mistakes. You learn more from doing than from actually, you know, sitting down and studying, which is the reason why careers last for a set amount of years and not your entire lifetime. Of course, you can still improve and learn new things, you know, things that come anew in your field. But, you know, there is a set number of years, you know, 3, 5, 8 years in a career, and then, okay, go work, go do something about it, go put your skills to the service of society. So yeah, That's my message to you. You don't need any more information. Start doing, really.